going on, Bolt Nation, and welcome to another Friday the 13th video. In today's video, we are going to go over the perks that don't currently work in the game, and these are the type of perks that you should probably save if you got a really good roll and not equip them, or if you have a bad roll, just discard them and wait till you actually get a better roll and save them. But don't be using these perks on your perk slot because these perks don't work. So let's go ahead and go over each individual perk. But before we get started, I do want to say thank you guys for the massive support you guys have shown to the channel. Thank you for everybody that likes and everybody that goes ahead and drops a comment. I try to reply to the comments as soon as I can. Would like to ask you guys for a favor. You can do me the huge favor of sharing this video on your Twitter and Facebook. I would greatly appreciate it. One quick note I do want to let you guys know though, is we do have a community Discord channel for everybody that is part of the Bolt Nation. So please join the community. It's a good place to where we're going to be playing Friday the 13th. I could just send out a message and let you guys know, hey, you guys want to play, and then we could play together. Plus, there's a lot of cool Bolt Nation fans in there as well, so definitely do check it out. The link is down below. But let's go ahead and get started and talk about the perks that don't work in Friday the 13th. So let's start off with the perks that kind of sort of work, but not really. So these are the ones that allow you to start the game with something. For example, you got the one that starts with the map. Does he start with a large map? That is preparedness. Then you have Slugger, the one that lets you start with the bat. You got Firecracker, the one that lets you start with the Firecracker. You got Psychic, the one that lets you start with the Walkie-Talkie. And Hypochondriac, the one that lets you start with a Medkit. Now, all of these perks sort of work. Now, the reason why I say sort of work is because it all depends where you put them on your perk slot. This has been one of the things that has been playing in Friday the 13th since the beginning. It's sometimes works and it sometimes doesn't work. So let's say, for example, as you see right here, I have the map one selected, right, which is preparedness. Now, this one, sometimes if I have it right there on the second slot or on the third slot, it might work. Sometimes it won't work. Now, if you want to make sure it works every single time, you got to make sure you put it on the first slot. So, for example, I go here and I place that. Hold on, let me get rid of this. Let's go ahead. And if I go here and I place the map one or Slugger or the Medkit or the Firecracker one, and I place that on the first slot, which is this one right here, then I will spawn with that weapon. So I will spawn with the bat, I'll spawn with the Firecracker, I'll spawn with the Walkie-Talkie, either with the med spray, with the, with everything. It's pretty much guaranteed. If you place it right there, you will spawn with it. Now, if you decide to place that somewhere else, like let's say you want to go ahead and place it right here, you put the map here or you put Slugger here, there's a great possibility that it won't spawn you with that particular item. So this perk right now in the current moment, in the current state of the game, is broken. But the nice quick fix on this is just make sure you put it on your first slot and you should be good to go. Now, I'm pretty sure the majority of you guys are aware of this issue with that perk. Now let's go ahead and talk about perks that don't work quite as they are intended to work. Now, the next perk we're going to work is one that I hate. I hate it just because it's just silly the way it works, right? So we have Grease Monkey. Now, Grease Monkey is not like one of those perks like you're like, man, dude, I gotta have that perk, man. I don't know what I'm gonna do with that perk. It's one of those perks that it's good if you get a really good roll in, and it's something you should keep in your inventory just in case you get a decent roll and you're gonna be thinking you're gonna be using the car that a lot. I have an epic roll, which is a 45 and 3. I mean, it's a very decent one, but it's not a perk that I'm gonna be using. But if you do like using Grease Monkey, this perk doesn't work at all. This perk, what it does, it allows you to start and restart the car in a time decrease. So basically, it'll start the car, or it's meant to start the car faster, or it's meant to start the car quicker. Unfortunately, this perk does the reverse. It actually adds time to the time you have to start the car. So if you're rolling with Grease Monkey on your perk slot, time to discard it and put a different perk on that slot. Or if you have some Grease Monkeys that you're like trying to figure out if you should use them or not, just go ahead, dismantle them, and re-roll a different perk. Next, we get a look at two perks that I consider to be very helpful, and there would be really good if they actually work. So we have Heavy Mover, which is the one that speeds up the amount of time it takes you to barricade the door. So basically, the time you take from closing down the latch of the door, it speeds it up. The Heavy Mover perk will do that. And then we have Sneaky, move faster while going through a window and getting in or out of hiding spots. So basically, it'll allow you to get out of the spot quicker and jump through that window faster. Now, unfortunately, these two don't work the way they're intended to do. In the way it works is in the animation when you guys are going ahead and getting out of a spot, going through a window, barricading, the animation actually looks like you're doing it faster than you regularly would, which is what the perk is intended to do. Now, the only problem when you have this perk activated is that there's a brief moment where you can't move. So it's like, if you know, it's like you do it faster in animation, but when you're done doing it, you get stuck. You can't move. So I don't know if you guys have experienced this time. Sometimes you'll go through a window and you just stay frozen, or you're barricading a wall. You're like, I can't move. That's because you have that perk activated. It does let you do the animation quicker, but it adds kind of like a freeze time to your movement speed, which kind of negates the ability of the perk, because you want to be able to jump through the window faster and also move right after you do that jump. You don't want to be stuck in a short animation, or while you're jumping through that window or going or closing that barricade. Technically, it makes it look like you're going faster, but the time from the the animation starts and the time that you get frozen in that little space is the same amount as if you didn't have the perk. So there really is no point on using the perk if it's not going to allow you to move faster than you would if you didn't have the perk. Now the next perk we have is called Man at Arms. Now this perk, what it does, it increases the durability of each weapon, allowing you to attack more before the actual break of the weapon. And so if you're using a bat, supposedly, technically with this perk, it will last longer as opposed to if you weren't using this one. Now I've tested this perk out on the PC, and unfortunately this perk does not work as is intended. It's the same thing. It's if you didn't have the perk, and if you had the perk, your weapon doesn't last longer. It's just the same amount. So this perk needs to be tweaked and be able to be enhanced. I believe that the reason why this perk doesn't work is because since the characters are locked to their luck status, or based on how lucky they are, is the chance of how fast the weapon breaks. I think they need to tweak the code there, where this perk actually gives you a little bit more luck, so the actual weapon durability will last longer. But unfortunately, at the current moment, it's not working. The next perk we have is Sucker Punch. Now what this does, it allows you to increase your chance of stunning Jason. So basically, with any melee weapon like a bat, a wrench, or anything that you want to melee him with, this will go ahead and increase the time that he's stunned. Now I've tested this weapon, and unfortunately, I don't see any increase on the stun time. Maybe you guys could let me know in the comment section down below if you guys are using a Sucker Punch and if you guys notice some sort of increase. Now, I was going to go ahead and do these each individually, so I was going to go ahead and grab a perk, test it out, do kind of like a myth buster to see if it works or not. But I didn't know if that was something you guys wanted to do. If you guys would like to see a video of me actually testing each individual perk and seeing if it works, and if it doesn't work, let me know in the comment section down below, because I don't know if it was something that you guys wanted to see or if it's fine that I just compiled them all in one. Now, if there's another perk that you guys feel that doesn't work or it's not doing what it's intended to do, let me know in the comment section down below, and I'll be happy to test that out and kind of give you guys my feedback if it works or if it doesn't work. And since we're on the subject of perks, what is your favorite perk? Please let me know in the comment section down below. I hope you enjoyed the video and found it informative. Now, if you did, please remember to help me out by liking the video and most importantly, sharing the video with your friends. If you want to stay up to date with all things Friday the 13th, make sure you hit that sub button. And if you want to get in touch with me and stay informed on the latest things that are happening in the channel, the best way is to hit me up on Twitter at GFLaserbolt. The link is down below, and also follow me on Twitch. If you would like to support the channel, you can always join the Laser Nation by supporting us via Patreon. Once again, the link is also down below. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you guys on the next video.